So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the time frame you may be. So, my name is Alex Michael, and I am a DevOps engineer, also a cloud computing engineer. So, what we have here today, we have a question from Quora saying, learning programming. Well, under programming, so how to solve permission denied public key error using Git. Now, someone is actually asking how can he or she actually solve the problem of um, permission denied. You go into your terminal, maybe you try running one or two operations and you find out that it gives you a red flag back telling you that you do not have permission and talks about public key. So we will be looking at that, and let's go right straight into business. Yeah. So this is my terminal. Let me take Can I actually remove this? Okay, fine. So this is my terminal. And then let me go first into my desktop because I love using my desktop. So I have to create a server. In order for me to create a server, I first have to go to AWS. Right. So AWS, let me go into my console. Okay. Password. Right. Fine. So I'm in. So I'm in my EC2 dashboard, and first of all, I have to create a server to launch an instance. Oh, my network is quite slow today. Okay. So I'll call it Git server. Let me call it Git server. Then I'm going to choose an Ubuntu operating system or AMI. Then scrolling down, what do I have again? The key pair, I'll be using my key pair, which I had already created a long time ago. I use it almost all the time. Then enabling HTTP, HTTPS, though you might choose not to because this demonstration, we are not going to be having access to displaying any applications or websites. Then we'll be leaving at 8 gig, launching instance. Yeah, and we will have it running in less than a minute. Fine, thank God. So let me go to instance, let me refresh, then I will have my server running though, but we'll have it pending at first. This is pending, so we are waiting for it to start running. And yeah, so it's running. So we have to connect to our server, then we copy this, we go to our terminal. I can clear this. I already have entered into my desktop environment. So yeah, I can do this. Then yes, yeah, and I'm in. So let me clear this. First of all, um, I need to do a sudo apt update, right? So after this, I'll make sure that I have Git installed on this particular server because this is the server I actually want to I want to clone my repository into. Yes, I will also have my Git hub, I will have it running, and then I want to clone some files into this particular server, which is a new server. So let me clear, right? Let me clear, let me check if it has Git in it. So I'll use Git hyphen V. Okay, I think it has Git. Let me use Git version. This should work. Yeah. So we have a Git already installed on this Ubuntu, Git version 2.34.1. So I can clear this, right? And then let me do a sudo su so I don't need to always put in the sudo. So let me clear. So at this point, let me try having to clone my repository. So I first have to go to my Git. So this is actually my Git this is my Git page. And then let's say we are starting afresh, and I have to go to my repository. Then let's say I want to clone this particular project. You understand? I want to clone this project. I want all these files to appear on my server. So what do I have to do? I have to go to code. Over here we have SSH. I copy all this, and then I go to my terminal and use the command git clone, right? What we copied, we paste it, we enter, and we say yes. So actually, this is an authentication process. So what does it say? It says what? Permanently added GitHub, da 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 da. Now, can you see this? What is this? This is permission denied. So this was what the person was actually trying to ask. It's a man, it's a woman, it's a boy, it's a girl. He was actually trying to ask about this particular problem that he or she is getting this problem. So how do we fix it? So the way we fix it is this. Let me clear. We first have to generate an SSH key pair. So in order for us to do that, we'll click SSH key gen, right? Click enter, click enter, click enter. We have this. Now, if you check cd roots, cd root slash dot ssh, what do we have? Let's list it out. We find authorized keys, IDRSA pub, and known host. So IDRSA over here is the private key, while IDRSA dot pub is the public key. So we need our public key to be recognized by GitHub. So what we have to do is that we have to do a cat IDRSA pub, copy paste, and then voila. So we have our public key. This is actually an encryption. So we have to copy this encryption and go into our GitHub, right? And then click here. Let me remove my video, put it over here. Fine. So you have to click here, then go to settings, right? Then after settings, we go to SSH and GPG keys, new SSH. We have it over here. Let me take this video over here. So let me go back so you can see. So I can see new SSH. We click on it. Then we have what? We have title. So before we go for the title, we can just go first, paste what we have from our server. That's our public key. Paste it over here. As you can see, key type is what? Authentication key. We're actually trying to generate, or rather, we are trying to use an authentication key. And the public key is actually an authentication key. So we have title, and we can call it, well, my machine is a Dell. So I'll call it Dell, and I'm using a PowerShell. Oh, let's not call it a PowerShell. Let's call it server. Server. So Dell server. Let's just use that. You can call it anything. So add SSH key. So it wants me to validate this. So fine, I will validate it. Password, right? And then I'm confirming this. Oh, my password is wrong. Let me try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I, yeah, it works. So as you can see, we have Dell server being saved as a SSH key. So we'll go back to our terminal over here, and we will run the same command. So let me clear, and then let me run the same command, having to clone our repository. So this was the command git clone. Of course, the SSH we copied, and then we enter. Wow. So it's done. Cloning into deployment of WordPress, MySQL, and this was actually the project we had in our repository. Then, of course, remote, everything is successful, 100%, 100%. Now we want to know about that. LS, as you can see, this is it over here. But actually, I made a little mistake in the sense that I was meant to move out of .ssh and maybe go to any other folder I wanted to be or any other directory. But it's fine. It's just for demonstration purpose. It's because I am currently on .ssh, and that is why we are having this actually routed straight into this particular directory, which is .ssh. If I were in CD, let's try it again for CD. Let me clear this, CD. Now I'm in the roots, right? I'm in the root. So let's say I want to do the same thing again. I can just say, okay, git clone, right? Git clone, and then I copy my key. So let me go straight up, repositories, deployment of WordPress, MySQL, and PHP MySQL. So this is code SSH. I'm copying this, and then I'm doing it again. So enter. So the same thing, it works, and then I check it. So I have it here. So it depends on wherever I run the command, that is where it is going to be. So this is the deployment of WordPress MySQL. And if you want to validate, okay, fine. Or rather, you want to know if really it has all the files which you have over here, all these files. You want to know, okay, fine. Did it carry it? Did it bring it with it when it was coming, while it was traveling? So you can actually do that. Just ls, right? First, you have to seed into it, meaning you have to change directory into this, then ls, and then as you can see, Docker installation, Docker file, how to authenticate from the server, all that. So you can see all that over here. So this is where we will stop this demonstration. So I hope I've been able to answer this question, how to solve permission denied. It's just actually you having to generate your public key from your server or from your local machine, and then putting it on your SSH in your SSH settings, so that it can be able to recognize that server that you are communicating with it. So that is where we'll be stopping, and I hope you've been able to learn a lot. Yeah, you have been able to learn a lot. So do have a wonderful time and stay good. Bye bye.